Enough to make her help with a murder? What sort of secret would be big enough to force someone into that
She
corner?
cheating on her husband.
Damn!
And Ehara, both feel bad for Ihara's son.
What?
It was a waste. All for nothing. It was for nothing, bro. Oh.
Are we ready, Yagami-san? Let's start with our visit to Mamiya-san, if that sounds reasonable to you.
Yeah, why would I wait?
Let's start there.
But we didn't get nothing from her.
The victim's story is completely in line with her court testimony, huh?
That's correct. There wasn't anything new to pick up.
Unfortunately.
In which case, should we look into the murder video instead? Like, figure out how they made it?
That looks
Let's not
real as
get ahead
fuck,
of
bro.
ourselves here. Whether that tape's fake or real, someone had to put it online, right? Do we have any theories on who that might be?
None, bro.
Well, the footage showed enough of the surroundings to make the crime scene clear. As somebody who's been there, I can confirm that the blood splotches match what you see in the footage. Which means...
Who uploaded Ehara's murder footage to the internet? Bro, what is going on with this story, bro? Ehara posted video himself. Accomplices posted it. The Kanagawa detective posted it. The prosecutor posted the video. Oh, bro, it gotta be himself because he was the only one. He couldn't have posted it. I mean, he could have timed the upload like to match up. Ehara's accomplices posted it, bro.
the murderer's accomplices have to be the ones who posted it for him.
Yeah, I can't see it any other way.
I also agree with Yagami-san.
But in that case, what would their motive be?
Somebody behind the scene,
Maybe
bro.
they wanted to make a mockery of the police, or even the whole system.
Huh?
We know Ehara got himself convicted for groping, so he'd have an alibi for Mikoshiba's killing. But then, his conspirators turned it around by uploading the murder video online. Almost as if to say, look how he got away with it.
I see. Yeah, that does make it sound like he's taunting them.
That's well and good, but I'd like to shift gears. Let's talk about the actual fabrication of the video. How does one go about that?
I have no idea.
Well, for example,
Don't talk to me.
the true culprit would be taped murdering Mikoshiba. Then Ehara's face would be copied and blended onto the killers.
Fair.
That's how they'd approach it in a Hollywood movie.
Exactly. You a smart guy.
Wouldn't you be able to see traces of it being faked?
You can't, bro.
Tsukumo-san reported that he's found nothing of the sort in his analysis.
We've been down this road before. If we take the stance that the footage is fabricated, we have absolutely nothing to work with.
It's not
Then
fabricated,
let's
bro.
tackle this from the stance that the video's actually real. If that's the case, there has to be a flaw in the groping issue. I think we've collected enough evidence to find it too.
I'm
Before
telling you,
meeting with
bro.
Huey Mamiya, didn't you mention the possibility of Ehara using a stand-in?
That's it, bro.
Perhaps the real Ehara murdered Mikoshiba in Ijincho, then swapped places with the imposter so he could be detained.
But we couldn't find an opportunity for the swap to happen, remember?
Yes, I'm telling you,
From the
bro.
moment he set foot on the Ikebukuro platform, Ehara was constantly on camera.
But wait, that's not entirely accurate, is it?
No. Ehara was constantly on camera between Ikeburo and Shinjuku. And the proof is the proof right here. The 3 dots. The dots. There's no camera
Remember
right there.
how we mocked up a diagram of the Shinjuku station platform?
Yeah. Oh, wait! That's it! You could be onto something.
I've been on this
There's
before
a
you went to
point
see
where
that
Ehara wasn't
phone
on
lady.
camera at all.
What is this point you speak of?
You could have swapped bodies.
Let's all go over the diagram so that everything will be clear. Here's what I want you to see.
Bro, there was literally no point going to see that girl. I was on to this before we even left to go see her. Bro, I was on in this last video, bro. I'm not trying to, bro. These things pissing me off.
Suspicious.
Right here, bro. Yes, this is proof of the spot I'm looking for. I already
It's
knew
very
that.
brief, but there's a moment where Ehara and Mamiya-san can't be seen by the security cameras.
That's what I'm
The
saying.
dotted lines on the arrow represent the camera's blind spot.
It does appear so. So you're saying this is where the groper, the fake Ehara, traded places with the real one?
Had to, bruh.
Can't say it's impossible, right?
Right. Except if that actually happened, Mamiya-san would have been right behind them at the time. Could the two really swap places without her noticing?
In a crowd like that.
She not right behind him, bruh. And she looking down like this, bruh. No.
If it really was Ehara's plan, then I'd say he was being careless.
Careless? How?
Well, on the day of the incident, the station was packed for morning rush hour. That means there was no solid guarantee the assailant could make the switch. He could have been nailed by any random passerby before reaching the blind spot.
Good point. Not only that, if Mamiya-san had called for help while the train was still moving, then the first Ehara would have been caught before even reaching the platform.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Called it.
Think about it, Yagami-san. Why would Ehara's accomplices meticulously plan out every last detail of this alibi, only to leave such a crucial component to chance, as Hoshino-kun pointed out?
Oh, just doing my job.
True. Good work, Hoshino-kun. In fact, I think that may back up my own take on it.
Yeah?
What if everything, including the appearance of leaving the plan to chance, was part of the plan?
Can you expound on that?
I'm saying I agree that such an airtight alibi wouldn't have allowed for contingencies. And that takes the question to another level. Just how far did they line up the pieces in advance to make the swap work?
Are you saying there's more to it than we discussed?
Actually, it gotta
What
be.
did we miss?
We be right on it, bro. Be right on it, bro. They swap bodies. I'm gonna keep saying that until we get it right. If everything on that day of the murder, including the train groping, was planned from the start to finish, what else can we possibly deduce? Hiramika, she was still alive. Nah, that's not it, bro. He got his throat slit. The real murder took place in Kamurocho. The prosecution faked the footage. You and Mama was colluding with Ehara. What? No. I'm gonna go with, nah, it can't be a lie. We seen him die.
2 days later.
Bro, I'm not picking that nigga still alive. He's not alive. We just seen bro die.
I know this won't go over well.
There we go. I know.
But what if Mamiya was colluding with Ehara all along?
Huh?
She's an accomplice.
Let's say Mamiya was in on this and knew about the imposter in advance. If that's the case, the swap could happen right in front of her and no one but the three of them would know.
You're saying the victim of a groping conspired with her assailant beforehand? That's ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
Okay, calm down. It's not a suggestion I'm fond of, but I have considered the possibility of Mamiya playing a part in this conspiracy.
Let me just say, I'm only trying to work out how a swap like that would be guaranteed to work. Now, if Ehara and his stand-in both know that Mamiya will pretend not to have seen them, they can trade places in the blind spot with impunity. Conversely, if Mamiya wasn't in on the plan, the idea of a swap would never work.
So I'm saying,
We
bro.
can say with certainty that she would have seen the swap, so she could have even called attention to the real Ehara the moment he stepped in. That way, the people around her would be focused on chasing the correct assailant. The rest is as we know it. They caught Ehara and detained him until the police showed up.
Hold that thought. If your theory is accurate, what about Ehara's trace evidence? Remember that fibers of the victim's underwear were detected on his hand.
Well, that can also be explained by Mamiya being in on the plan. For example, while the stand-in was showing himself at the security cameras, Mamiya could have easily provided Ehara access to a pair of underwear at the same time.
What?
Maybe the stand-in loitered around for so long because he was letting everyone else get themselves in place.
He was just standing there for like an hour, he said.
It's not impossible.
We can work out the other details later, but the point is, Ehara's murder alibi is shot if Mamiya was involved. In summary, it's possible Ehara disgraced himself to secure an unshakable alibi for Mikoshiba's murder.
I'll concede that it's an avenue worth pursuing.
And when it comes to the prosecution, they can't just admit they got the first case so wrong. Plus, they can't question Ehara about Mikoshiba's murder. In fact, their only option is to claim the tape was faked.
So he managed to make a farce out of the system after all.
Well, his court case for his son's bullying did get more or less thrown out, didn't it? The school, the investigative committee, and the court all agreed there wasn't enough evidence to convict anyone. No surprise for me that the guy held a grudge against the system for
I
some.
would too, bro.
Hold on.
Nigga, brush my son's death under the rug.
What's up?
The obvious question to me is why would Mamiya be party to such a crime? She appears
Money.
more than financially stable, and she's even raising a child.
Yeah.
So why would she do something so enormously risky as helping establish a murder alibi?
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far yet. But maybe she was promised something that far exceeds the risk.
Probably.
Or maybe Ehara has some kind of dirt on her even?
Enough to make her help with a murder? What sort of secret would be big enough to force someone into that
She
corner?
cheating on her husband.
Damn!
A 53-year-old patrolman and a married office worker and mother. The only connection between them so far is the train station itself.
What info do we have on Mamiya anyway? Maybe we can spot a connection to Ehara through her profile.
She got a husband. Maybe she
I'll
cheated
pull
on
her
her husband.
information. Just a second.
She's not trying to break
Oh.
that up because of the
I
son.
just thought of something else those two would have guaranteed by working together.
What's that?
If Ehara wanted to use this crime as a murder alibi, he needed it to blow up into the public eye. But if he had chosen a victim who stayed silent, then nothing would have come of it. A solid plan would need to eliminate that variable, which means Mamiya being an accomplice was crucial to Ehara's success.
That's true.
Looks like Ehara pulled one over on the prosecution then. Had his accomplices right where he wanted them, even his victim. Once we learn how he's connected to Mamiya, we can root out the rest of his team.
Let's see. According to her file, her maiden name is Yui Suzuki. 30 years old, so that's consistent. Originally from Ota, Tokyo. Attended a private high school called Kurakawa Academy. Later graduated from Toto University.
Huh.
Met her husband on the job, apparently. Her husband, Taichi Mamiya, is an industrial designer at Techno Zeta Inc. 6 years ago, she gave birth to their only son, Sotakun, who's now in first grade.
Okay.
Hold on. You said she went to Kurakawa Academy? I heard that name in Ijincho. If I recall correctly,
Oh, what? Someone spying on me went there. I wasn't at that school. Isn't that where Tsukumo graduated?
Nah, Tsukumo-san studied remotely. He told me that when we were out having drinks one night.
Okay, that's not it.
wait. Tsukuma went out drinking with you?
Yeah, we had fun.
What did you guys even talk about?
Hey,
Chill.
why am I getting grilled all of a
They
sudden?
pause, huh?
I agree. This is nowhere near relevant. Yagami-san, what were you saying about Kurokawa Academy?
Right.
Yeah, shut up. Someone's yeah, I was. Yeah, hey, what?
When I went to scope out the murder scene, there were these 3 guys watching the detectives and me. They told us they were just checking things out, but they mentioned they're Kurakawa grads too.
What was this?
Have
Oh,
any ID on you?
Will my license work?
Akake-san, age 30.
Akaike-san, age 30. Mommy is 30 as well.
What's that got to do with anything? Aren't we trying to find a connection between Mamiya and...
hold on now, shut up, old man. What do you think?
Kurokawa Academy website. Looks like they're pretty prestigious. It's in Tokyo, specifically in Ota. Pretty close to where Mamiya lived. Oh,
What?
the girls there get such cute uniforms.
Bird, come on, bro, focus up.
Lock in if I tweak out.
You want to start all over from the bar exam?
Thank you. Put him in check, Hunk.
I've seen that uniform before too, actually.
Where?
On an old picture of a teacher at Serial.
Sawa Sensei.
Ehara's son confided in her.
Is Sawa Sensei locked into this, bro? Again?
Is she actually a Kurakawa grad too? I don't know Sawa Sensei's exact age, but she could well be 30. Maybe all of them are even classmates.
Could this mean they're actually linked? The victim and her up to now unrelated assailant?
It's a tenuous link at best. Could fall apart any time. But no true detective alive would pass it.
Hold on, bro, because Sawa Sensei being linked to this would make sense. And Sawa Sensei could be like, that could be her best friend. The Mamiya. Mamiya could be Sawa Sensei's best friend. So Sawa Sensei and Ehara, you know, both feel bad for Ihara's son.
What?
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm onto something again here. Maybe I'm onto something again. Oh, is it a new chapter? Yes, sir. New chapter, new chapter.